Hey everyone, so I am here to do a tag video. I was actually tagged by Living with the Edges for the 5 things I can do now that I'm debt free tag. And I love this video idea because I think it's really important to continue to talk about the why, like why you are paying off your debt, why are you sacrificing, why are you doing all these things? And the why is because whenever you're debt free, you have tons of options and tons of opportunity and tons of freedom. And so I think it's important to share with you guys what I can do now that I'm debt free. So I love this tag idea. So the very first one that I am going to start with is that we can go to school debt free. Now, when we had debt, there was absolutely no way in this world that we could put enough money aside per month to be able to pay for my husband's tuition for the university that he goes to. And he actually goes to a cheaper one. He doesn't even go to like a real expensive one, but it is still thousands of dollars a semester. Every single semester that when it rolls by, we could basically replace my car. That's how expensive it is. And so if we still had debt, there is just absolutely no way that we could afford to do that. I mean, there's absolutely no way. And that was a big motivating factor for my husband whenever I finally got him on board with Dave Ramsey. It was that he could go back to school and we could pay cash for it and not go into student loan debt to pay for his schooling. So that's a huge thing that we can both pursue our education and we can pay for it out of pocket. It's a big deal to us. So the second thing that we can do now that we're debt free is to actually go on a vacation and really enjoy it and have the peace of mind that we paid cash for it and that this vacation is not going to follow us home on a credit card. Now, I know when you're in debt, you can still obviously go on vacation, you can save up the money and pay cash for the entire thing. Obviously being in debt doesn't stop you from going on vacation, but the way I feel about it is that I can go on vacation with the peace of mind that I have been saving for this. I have been putting money aside and I'm going to enjoy this trip entirely and there's not going to be any guilt involved. Anytime that we would go on any kind of weekend trips or just to try to get out of town, I personally would just always stress so much about money because there was just no plan. There was no budget. A lot of times I was putting stuff on the credit card or putting stuff on the debit card. I kind of go back and forth with that. But when I was debt free, we took a 10-day trip to Tennessee and it was a phenomenal trip. We flew there and we went to every major city. We went to Knoxville, we went to Nashville, we went to Memphis, we went to Chattanooga. We just went all over the place. We spent 3 awesome nights in the Smoky Mountains. And the only thing that followed us home was pictures and memories. And there was no credit card statements and there was no guilty feelings or anything like that. We saved for it, we put money aside for it, and we took that trip and we just really enjoyed it. So being debt free has really just helped me understand that I can go on vacation and I deserve to go on vacation as long as I can pay cash for it. The third thing that we can do now that we're debt free is to actually pay cash for our cars. Now, if you would have said this to me 5 years ago that I was supposed to save up money and pay cash for a car and not finance it, I would have thought that that was absolutely insane. And if anything, I would probably think that that was not even possible. But I have learned now that we are debt free that that's how you're supposed to go about buying cars. You're supposed to pay cash for it. You're not supposed to make payments on things. And so we are on a plan right now that our extra income every single month, now that we don't have any debt, goes towards our house fund, goes towards tuition, and also goes towards our car sinking fund. So whenever my car is needing to be replaced, we just go to the account where we have been putting money into every single month and we're able to go buy a cash car. And to me, that is such a huge deal that I have that peace of mind that I will be able to replace my car and I will still be able to get a very nice car and I'll be able to pay cash for it. If we still had debt, there would be absolutely no way that we would be able to do that. If anything, we would still be at the mercy of a car dealership and hoping that they give us a good trade-in for our car and that I don't have to roll over too much of the negative equity into the new car loan. And it's just such a nightmare. I've been in that seat so many times where I'm just sweating bullets and I'm hoping that the guy behind the desk is nice and will give me a good deal. And the reality is that that just doesn't exist. I have to be in a position that I have enough money set aside so that I can replace my car whenever I need to. And for me personally, the only way I've been able to accomplish that is by not having any debt. And instead of sending the payments to the bank or sending the payments to the car dealership, I'm sending the payments to myself. And that's something I couldn't do if I still had debt. The fourth thing that we can do now that we're debt free is to be able to put a huge down payment on a house. The last 2 homes that we have owned, we did not do them right. We didn't have anything down and we did 30-year mortgages. And I if I would have saved $5,000 to put down on a house, I would have thought that that was a big deal. But now that we're debt free, I realize that there is a much smarter way to go about buying a home, and it's a 15-year mortgage. It's 20% down or a very large down payment, and I love that. I love being able to save so much cash and have that towards a down payment on a home. And to me, that just screams financial peace and financial security, and I love that. And I just can't imagine going into our next home purchase with nothing down. So for me personally, being able to put money into a separate account every single month that is dedicated for the house fund is a huge deal to me. And again, if we had debt, that extra money would just not be there, and we would not be able to save up the down payment the way we have been. And the fifth thing that we can do now that we're debt free is we can have more babies. 5.5 years ago when I had my son, I didn't realize what a bad position we were in financially. We had the nice house, we had the cars, we had all the baby furniture and accessories, and I just didn't realize that we were drowning. We really were. And I just kind of thought that this is how everybody does it, and we just kind of have to get through this phase in our life, but we just didn't have any money left over at the end of the month. So if I wanted to have another baby, that obviously costs money. It really was a huge contributing factor to us not having more children immediately after having Connor. And we have learned now that we're debt free, we are actually in a position now that we can have more children. And that's such a huge thing. It's so sad to think that I ever was in a position where I couldn't have more children because of money and because of stupid choices that I was making. That I was driving a really nice car and living in a really nice house, but I wasn't having more children like I really wanted to. And that's when you know that your priorities are a little shifted and that you need to kind of refocus and rethink what you're doing with your life. So for me personally, getting rid of that debt meant that we can have more children and that we can build our family. And to me, that's obviously such a huge deal. I want to have more children, and now that we're debt free, we can do that. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Make sure you check out Living with the Edges down below. I will link her video for this tag. And thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.